Speeding up the tempo of practice as well as plays for offense. And I think you're seeing an example of guys hustling up to the line, and maybe Banner's a little so anxious that he's forgetting his mouthpiece right now.
Well, they're in a 2-minute offense, which is a little bit of a surprise. John Vaughn, the offensive coordinator, dialing up the first handoff to Tashard Choice, but Cornell Banks, a redshirt freshman from Fresno, knocked that for a loss of 3.
But I think Tashard Choice is the key here in this ball game. In order for the passing game to succeed, you're going to have to run the football with Tashard.
Trying to get it to Thomas in the end zone. Flag is down. It's caught for the touchdown. Let's make sure this one's going to stand up. So Taylor Bennett, we expected a lot more running out of Georgia Tech early on. They go with a deep pass for 35 yards. We'll see if it stands.
A lot of hand fighting on this play.
Pass interference. Number 22 on the defense. Penalties declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
For Georgia Tech, one of only 6 schools to do that. Taking a deep shot. And caught. Is it in bounds? Yes. Tremendous catch by Marlon Moore. Probably the hottest of the Fresno receivers coming into the Rhodes Humanitarian Bowl.
Yeah, we talked about Marlon Moore at the very beginning of the show here, and talked about his vertical speed, and how he uses it downfield. And here you see a pump fake on the cornerback by Brandstater, setting up Morgan Burnett. Great throw outside shoulder where you want to place it for Marlon Moore. Marlon Moore understands, look, I have to get inside the numbers so I can give my quarterback a chance to throw it outside my shoulder and have the right feature.
Stitzer, 14 out of 22 on the year. Probably one of the easier ones he's been asked to convert. And he pops home the 3-pointer. So Fresno State got inside the 5-yard line, but it didn't quite work out for them for 6. Instead, they get half of that. And Georgia Tech will get the football back, and we'll see what their offense can do against the Bulldogs defense in Boise. Bennett back in a quarterback on this series for Georgia Tech. After Josh Nesbitt ran around a bit, Taylor Bennett will be thrown down on 3rd and long. The first sack of the game goes to John Manga. 34th sack of the year for the Fresno State defense.
Not allow the fewest big.
Up to the right, pass go again. First down for the Bulldogs.
He's just a big target in Bear Pascal. 39 catches coming into the game, but 4 touchdowns, but that doesn't speak volumes about his value to this football team.
Well, I tell you one thing, it tells me this is the first time we have called Philip Wheeler's name in this football game. It's a great play by the linebacker, but we haven't really heard about his name yet on blitzes and getting through to the quarterback, which boy, look out there. That was nearly picked, but Moore spins away down to the sidelines and right around a first down. That play, James, we, of course, on our view up here, we can see the plays develop.
Right.
That was so close to being brought back the other way.
That was risky. I mean, you usually don't see that, but here's the throw. Here's the pick pass. Right there, you want to get a kick-out block, but the cornerback does a good job of beating the block. Morgan Burnett does anyway, should I say. Marlon Moore, a great second effort of finding an opportunity to get down the sideline and make guys miss. Hands well. What more can you ask for?
4 catches, 48 yards. I can tell you more. He can block kicks, too. Got 4 block kicks in his career, and he's blocked 2 field goals this year, so he can do a lot for this football team. That's Moore in the backfield. They pitch it to him. Get a great block. Whoa, what a block by Smith.
Wow.
And that's a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Clifton Smith, coach,
Good, and really mixing their plays well.
surprisingly, there's no sacks right now by Georgia Tech's defense.
And the other surprise is how well the Bulldogs have run the football. That time it's Anthony Harding. That'll put Fresno State about 70 yards in this half. And normally, Georgia Tech gives up about 100 yards per game on the ground.
You can't get to the quarterback and sack him. The next best thing is to get your hands up and just read his eyes. And that's what Georgia Tech did well last play.
Well, that's how you counter the blitz right there with the speed of Smith. Still going. If he goes right, he's got a chance. Woo! A spectacular screen pass.
Wow.
All the way to the Georgia Tech 39-yard line. No flags. Burnett and Ward Daniels finally brought him down.
Well, Clifton Smith wears a Batman shirt underneath his pads that he's worn since high school, so they call him Batman. And I think we see why now. I mean, he's running like a superhero through this crowd right now. I mean, spin moves, juke moves, stiff arms. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, here's a guy, no, the numbers don't show.
Different players.
Right.
And different formations. I mean, nothing is exactly what you think it's going to be.
Oh, wide open down here.
Is he ever open?
Wide
That'll
open.
be...
Oh.
I think.
See, now, there's an example when you have two defenders and they're both playing what's called in-and-out coverage on receivers, meaning if one receiver goes in, I got him, and if one receiver goes out, you have him. Well, if they both go out, then one guy has to try to cover one, and it doesn't work that way. Well, so that's why most teams don't like playing in-and-out coverage on receivers, because they can do that tendency to both go out, and now one guy,
suddenly they go empty. The end zone, touchdown.
Now, here's the problem. Whenever you go empty backfield, as Fresno State just did, it forces the defense to come out of any blitz that they may have been in. Now they have to come out of that blitz, and that's something only Pat Hill can tell you why. You know, he understood exactly what Coach Tenuta wanted to do there.
That was Drew Lubinsky getting the touchdown catch. Yep. This doesn't work. From the backside, the pressure comes on the sack by Tyler Klutz. 23 career sacks for the senior from Clovis, California.
Not real sure why they didn't want to punt that football there. I just think the field position is a huge factor in this game. They still have their timeouts available, so they can still get themselves down close enough to get at least a field goal out of this.
Well, they've got two timeouts. They got a hot quarterback in Brand State. Not bad field position at all at the enemy 47-yard line. And there you're right. John Tenuta rolling it on the interim coach, taking a chance at it, rolling those dice, and it just didn't pay that time. And Bennett certainly tried to make something happen, but Fresno State's the team with the sacks in this game and not Georgia Tech.
Momentum going into halftime is probably one of the most underrated aspects of football that there is right now. I mean, these guys can go with their heads down, and then you lose them for the rest of the game.
Wisely goes to Pasco, short of the first down. That's our guest in the third quarter there, Paul Johnson.
Well, he didn't look real happy about that,
no,
that conversion.
He does not. He absolutely does not. You're wondering about John Tenuta. He actually wanted to be the head coach, Georgia Tech. Interviewed. Paul Johnson got the job, had a meeting with Tenuta, and Tenuta said, you know what, I think I'll just go on and take my chances on the job market elsewhere. And Paul Johnson already has a defensive coordinator hired. Got a little room here, almost too much room that time.
Well, you'd have to think that that'd be a very difficult situation for those two guys to work together, you know.
I agree.
I think it was probably the best for both of those guys to go different directions.
Got 7 seconds left as Urachuchu makes this. Remember, they have their two timeouts. Stitzer, his longest is 52 yards, so he is certainly in his range. Now, kicking a cold football is not any fun.
And they were struggling kicking the ball in this direction. Both teams were having a tough time kicking field goals that direction.
They go to that same side of the field again, though, and now the field goal will be a lot shorter with 4 seconds to go. That's Moore with another catch.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see what we get.
Now, Clint Stitzer brings in a perfect grade point average. He's won the Dean's Medal. He's a finalist for the Werfel Award. And he won the Rhodes Humanitarian Bowl Humanitarian Award for Fresno State.
14-22 this year. So
for 39. Right on. Boy, I tell you what, that decision on 4th down being second guessed, I'm sure, by the Georgia Tech fans, by Pat Hill's team, runs off the field to a warm reception on a cool day in Boise, Idaho. Our halftime score is 20-7. Right now, let's get down to the field. Heather's
for Avery, which certainly helped him when he got off the field, guys.
big hole. Big chance for a touchdown. He'll go. No flags. Clifton Smith, touchdown.
Well, we know why now. I mean, why he's an MVP. He's truly a special player.
The penalty flag will be for the jumping on the sign and jumping into the stands. Nice block.
Just well blocked, you know, from everybody out there. Clifton Smith virtually goes untouched. Not a single body there to get a hand on him.
Nate Adams, the fullback, is the one who had that last block that really sprung Smith.
Sportsmanlike conduct, excessive celebration on the ball carrier. It'll be a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff.
No, that's not a very Pat Hill-like move there. You don't see unsportsmanlike penalties in the end zone called on his team very often.
Yeah, I'm ambivalent about that call. I guess he did do something he shouldn't have done, but it is a bowl game. It was a touchdown, but that's okay. Stitzer on for the PAT. Fresno State has blown this game open. They were losing 7-0 in the first quarter, and they have reeled off 27 unanswered points.
You know, I think that this staff started the season and they needed to finish it, so it's a situation that hopefully, you know, in a few minutes it'll be over, and starting January 2nd, the team will be ours.
That was Tyler Klutz who came in there and batted down that pass by Calvin Booker.
Who's formerly of the Oakland Raiders, has done a fantastic job of developing and learning what Brand Stater can do and what he can't do, and not asking him to do more than that.
Look at Pasco leading the blocks. Touchdown!
Well, you know, I always said, but 39 catches. Bear Pascal only has 39 catches. How is he WAC first-team player, player in the WAC? First-team tight end. Well, we know why. Because the guy can do more than just catch the football. He does a great job of blocking. You saw an example of it there.
Well, Brand 15-7 here at the Rhodes Humanitarian Bowl. So Georgia Tech trying to light a fire here with Evans, and that does not work as we get an update on the Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl and go to Reese Davis. But you know what? Rashard Choice was rarely healthy this season. You wonder what it would have been like if he had been.
Yeah, didn't play in 3 games or played in parts of 3 games, and he missed some games. Rashard Choice still rushed over 1,300 yards.
Yep.
That's a big deal in the ACC.
John Manga getting in there again. Riley in there again.
Football. I guess they figured it out.
I think Fresno State and Marcus Riley had figured that one out also. No doubt about that. And Booker's thrown the ball fairly well. He's 5 out of 8 for 84 yards. But Dwyer has come on and played very well with 2 touchdowns for Georgia Tech, but he lost 4 there.
Yeah, and you know,
Cover my entire arm and wristbands to keep it warm today, Sarah.
Clifton Smith with a first down. Thank you very much, Heather. And certainly we want to wish Sarah the very best from all of us here in the ESPN crew. Philip Wheeler, whose name just hasn't been called enough if you're a Georgia Tech fan, in on that tackle, but it is another. They try a little misdirection with Smith, and he's going to make it up as he goes along. And look at the ad-lib ability of Clifton Smith at the speed and a first down. It was 2nd and 16. He got 16 and a little bit more.
just the ability to change on the stop of a dime is impressive by Clifton Smith. I mean, the vision that he has to understand where he needs to go on the cutback lanes, which lanes are available to him, are incredible. 5'8", 190. The guy runs hard like he weighs over 200 pounds.
We'll see if perhaps Jonathan Dwyer gets a shot here.
Usually after a pass like that, you have to run the ball. You have to. Defense should be pinning their ears back right now. There you go.
Well, they got him.
Barely get out the end zone.
And that is still waiting for the call. One official has him outside the end zone. The line judge came in.
There's a rhythm that every coordinator has. Every coordinator has a certain rhythm. He's not going to want to come back and run a pass back-to-back because he doesn't want to put himself in 3rd and long. I don't know.
Wow.
But you can best believe Pat Hill knows about that rhythm that every coordinator has.
See if Tech uses a timeout if this play doesn't get much. But it gets much. Clifton Smith.
Wow.
Holy Boise, Batman. You bet. 32 yards. There's your player of the game right there, Clifton Smith.
Yeah, I mean, he's the team MVP, and now the guy's a phenomenal player. He can do everything that you want out of a football player on offense.
Well, he is over 200 total yards just on offense, not even counting his work on punt return. 17 for 148 and a couple of scores. And those are career high in rushing yardage. That was their best.
Look me in my eyes, tell me what you see. Look me in my eyes, tell me what you see. I see greatness.
I know you want to be recognized as a guy, as the all-purpose guy that can do all things. That means you're a complete football player. I'd rather be the latter.
And the interception by Jake Jordy will wrap it up for Fresno State.
Well, every quarterback gets impatient, and every quarterback wants to throw the ball downfield. And as a defense, you understand that quarterbacks are in the stats more than they are than any player on the football field. You know that they want to throw the ball downfield and show off their arm, and eventually they're going to have to take a shot. And if you can stay patient and make the catch when it comes to you, you can get a lot of interceptions. You just have to remain patient. Years, maybe 3 years. And then the last thing is the NCAA rule change, which is, are they going to allow coaches to continue to call timeouts on the sideline, or will they now get that responsibility back to the players, which I think I'd like to see the players now be more in control of calling timeouts and taking that responsibility out of the coaches' hands.
Well, here will be two teams that'll be fun to watch in 2008. Georgia Tech with a new coach in Paul Johnson, a proven winner, and certainly a proven winner for the Fresno State Bulldogs. Pat Hill has picked up this bowl win. 4-4 in bowls for Pat Hill, and they are the 2007 Rhodey's Humanitarian Bowl champions. And somebody got the big shower, but it wasn't the coach. Look at that. He's very, very elusive suddenly. They want to get him, but there might be another 2-hour meeting. I don't know if they want to do that either.
That's a wily veteran right there.
Yep, he escapes the drenching. How about that? Pat Hill's best move all year. John Tenuta. That handshake will mark his last act as the Georgia Tech interim head coach, and he will go on to another job undoubtedly. He'll be in great demand.
Oh, yeah.
With Georgia Tech. 6 very good years with Chan Gailey and that staff. But for Pat Hill, that's their 12th win over a BCS school this decade, the most of any of the non-BCS schools, and an impressive one today, particularly on the offensive end, where they rack up 572 yards. And with the winning coach, here's Heather Cox.
And we just got that Gatorade bath you guys were talking about. A very happy Fresno State program. Coach Hill, you feel like Chen? Some very happy Bulldogs, Coach. Coach, as Dave just mentioned, this is the 12th win. All right, Coach, this is the 12th win over a BCS school, the most ever by a non-BCS program in the last decade. What does that say about this team?
I'm just proud of our team, and I promise I'd say hello to my mother. So hi, Mom. And Heather.
This is the second time I've gotten a Gatorade bath with you, Coach.
We told them for a month to play head up and make their heads turn, and we made their heads turn today.
Coach, you're just the third team all season to get more than 100 yards rushing against Georgia Tech. You got almost 300. Where did you see a weakness?
Well, we just told our kids for a month that we needed to play this thing head on, and the first team to turn their head was going to lose. And today, we made them turn their heads. So I was really proud of our performance.
I'll let you go celebrate, and let's go dry out.
All right, all right.
All right, Heather, thank you very much. Hopefully she didn't get drenched by that either. At least she's got a warmer jacket on than the head coach. Once again, our final score, Fresno State 40 and Georgia Tech 28.